and today on JCT's Fascinating Hobbies we are going to be replacing the heater control panel on a Vauxhall Astra G. So this covers the Bertone Convertible, which is what we're working on here, the Saloon, Estate and the Coupe. Covers all models which have the manual air conditioning / heater controls. Now the first thing that I did was to remove the gear shift gaiter and also to remove the panel just below the gear shift which covers up the diagnostic socket, that's the port in white. Once that's done, you've got two T20 torx bolts which undo, and you then have this panel which I'm working on here, which actually has two connectors on it which are for the heated seats if they are indeed fitted. So on this particular model that wiring is actually kept there for the heated seat wiring. Some models also have a traction control button here as well. You then have a couple more T20s holding in the ashtray, which I'm just going through and taking out now. And in total in this particular section I'm working on, you have four T20 bolts. So the ashtray comes free, and it is clipped into the centre console, so you just need to prise it a little bit just to get it free. After a little bit of persuasion it comes out. There's two wiring connectors on the back, one for the cigarette lighter and the other one for the light for the cigarette lighter. So the next phase is to just remove this centre tray that controls the electric roof and also all of the windows. So you've still got everything attached at the moment, so you've got those two bolts out, and the next area you need to focus on is your head unit. This is held in with a series of Allen keys. Those Allen bolts remove, or Allen nuts, depending on your sort of way of looking at it, exposing the facility to remove the head unit, and use the standard tool to actually get that head unit removed. With the head unit removed, you've got a single T20 bolt right at the back there which holds in the cradle, and that bolt actually removes. The cradle pops out, and the wiring connectors on the back of the cradle also pop out the cradle, and they can just go back into the dashboard. So a simple sort of clip mechanism for those three ISO DIN connectors, and also the aerial connector. That will also expose two T20 bolts which are hidden behind that particular cradle. Freeing these off actually does free off the centre plate a bit more. Now what I'm focusing on here is the actual removal of the plate itself, the heater controls, and you saw in that previous clip there are four metal clips. If you pop those clips, the heater pack itself actually just pops out, and then it's down to you to actually undo all of the cables, which is a lovely job, and one that took me a little while to actually do. It's best to have some needle nose pliers available so you can work the cables loose, and also adjusting the heater and position controls, temperature and position controls, does actually sort of help with removing that. In the clip that's playing at the moment, I'm just comparing both units. The unit that I'm fitting is actually from an older vehicle, so that's a 2004 unit versus the 2006 unit that came out. Part numbers are the same. There are some very minor detail aesthetic appearance differences, but the part numbers are identical, the connectors are identical, and what I'm just pointing there is the two bulbs that you can actually remove and keep for spares if you ever so sort of desired. What it's also worth doing is actually plugging the unit in before you actually connect it up and put everything back, turning on the lights and making sure that any illumination works. So you can see in this shot we've got the Bowden cables, or Bowden, whatever they're called, exposed, and those cables that need to be reconnected. So we put the unit in, and it is a bit of a fiddle to actually get all of those cables reconnected. It does take quite a bit of time, so you just need to be a little bit patient. Using the needle nose pliers you can actually get it in fairly well, fairly easily, and the little black clips that you saw in the clip just back there, they actually sort of clip into the back of the heater pack itself, and those sort of keep the cables located. Now on the mix control, so the directional mix control, you've got a cable at the bottom which has sort of got a conventional little connector on it, and that sort of slips in and the cable locks in place, and on the top one you've just got the 90-degree angle cable which locks in there. So it is quite tricky to actually get this in, and it wasn't the most fun of jobs. Once you've got everything actually plugged in, make sure you've got your wiring connectors plugged in, and you're actually then ready to move on to getting the rest of the dashboard popped back in. Now you may notice I actually removed the dash vents before popping out the actual centre stack itself. This just makes things easier for when you're sort of putting things back in. On the actual unit, you've got those two lugs on the top, and once you've got the clock plugged in, you can gently slide the unit back into position, going from the top first and working your way down to the bottom, as I'm doing here. And as you can see here, I'm just pulling the heater cluster back into the unit, clipping everything in and making sure that it's all sort of solidly in place and ready to go. Also just testing that the buttons go in freely. On this particular unit, for some reason the heated rear window control is a little bit sticky, but I'm not going to complain too much because everything else works. Removal is, or rather replacement is reversal of removal, as they say. You've got your two T20 bolts that go in around where the head unit cradle goes in. You get your head unit cradle from your carefully placed pile of items, not just strewn across the passenger footwell like I have. And then you make sure that you get your both key connectors for your aerial and your 3 ISO connectors plugged back in. That ISO connector to the left is a bit of a pain, so you need to make sure that that is really firmly pressed home before you sort of go any further, just to make sure that it is absolutely in there. And then you've got your centre bolt, your centre T20 bolt just to pop in, and you're good to go. And there we're just having a look at the head unit itself, and we've got the head unit in. So, moving on to the next stage, we're just putting the finishing touches to everything that we've just been doing, including putting those tiny little Allen bolts, or nuts, I think they might be bolts actually, or grommets rather, that's a better term, back into the head unit. Replacing the heater vents, which just do need a little bit of coercion with a flat bladed screwdriver just to get them in. And making sure that everything is firmly pressed home and everything is nicely settled in there. You've also got your hazard warning light switch to put back in. You've also got the centre oddments tray to put in as well. In this particular version, you've got the 2 switches. Make sure that they're plugged in using the small wiring connectors to the rear of the switches themselves. Then you've got your 2 bottom T20 connectors, which plug back in or bolt back in there. And then you've got your ashtray, which you can offer back up. Make sure that you plug in the outlet for the 12 volt, or the inlet for the 12 volt rather, and the little light, and make sure that it clips into place into the centre console. And then you've got the 2 T20s securing that, just to make sure that the ashtray is secured and firmly in place. Once that's done, you can remove the cigar lighter itself, and you can actually just put that little plastic panel back on. And then you've got the wonderful job of putting the redundant heated seat looms back into this plastic trim finisher. I actually had a quick look under the seats, and I've got to do a bit more of a thorough investigation to actually see if the seats actually have the heater elements in them. If the heater elements are actually present, then I'm thinking it should just be a case of purchasing a pair of heated seat controls and the panel and fitting that, and I've got heated seats for this particular vehicle. You've then got your gear shift surround, you've got your 2 T20s, which I'm just going through and sorting out here. And what it's also worth doing is just giving the area a bit of a clean out. If you've got any sort of crumbs or anything down there or any dirt in there, now is actually a really good time just to get that all cleaned out as I'm doing here. And that's it for today's video clip. If you have enjoyed this, please don't forget to hit that like button and also to subscribe for more upcoming fascinating hobbies.